What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is another episode of John Boogie's Wasted Talent. This is a special episode to all the mothers that's out there. Excuse me. First and foremost, God bless everybody on this wonderful Sunday. God bless all the mothers that's out there. Everybody, each and every one of you beautiful women that's out there. I want to shine some light on you guys. This is about you guys today. I usually make my my YouTube channels for our youth, and also I'll give a word on each Sunday, whether it be a motivational, whatever the case may be. But this is for you guys who molded us as men. You know, who I know our fathers as well. You know, like they play a huge part. You know, but without a woman, we ain't here. And I'll just keep it 100% with that. And I just want you guys to know that you are loved dearly. For people who for all mothers who have passed on, you guys are still loved dearly. We appreciate that we had you in our lives. You are still in our lives. You're still in our hearts. You are still in our minds. No matter what, God bless and rest in peace to all of those wonderful mothers who got the chance to be able to show love and give love and receive love back from whether it be family members, your kids, you know, your son, your daughter, no matter what. I want to give a shout out to everybody, you know, all the mothers from all over the world. Thank God for you guys, and I know for a fact that you guys are receiving a whole lot of love that's out there today. And even if you don't have too much family members that's in your life, just know that this YouTube today is for you guys. You know what I mean? Regardless of what, you guys are the ones who put on for us. You know, like I said, without you, there's no us. You know, so I wanted to just talk a little bit about my grandmother. Without her, there's no mom, there's no me, right? She's the alpha. She taught me so much growing up, and I had so many talks with this woman, and I'm so grateful to be able to, you know, call her, you know, the alpha, you know, like the, you know, like one, you know, the big dog in the family. Growing up in Spanish Harlem, my grandmother opened up her door pretty much for any and everybody. You know, whoever wanted to come, and you know, whether if it was a meal, whether if it was to get any type of advice, you know, whether if it was to sit down and kind of sort of talk to each and every one of my friends. When my mom was talking, she'll chime in and she'll give one of her jewels from what she learned back in the day, you know. And I'm just super grateful for that woman right there. And I have to be able to shout her out. Maria Santos is her name. My grandma, my wonderful, beautiful grandmother. She comes from she was born in Puerto Rico, and she's been living where we live now, still to this day, for 55 years. And she knows, you know, as a lot of, you know, as you grow up, you know, and most people can kind of sort of love where the place that they've become, the place that they came, that they've came to in life. So she kind of sort of got comfortable in that situation, as most of the elderly people, you know, just kind of sort of like, I want to say, they get comfortable where they at after a while. You know what I mean? It's because that's the love that they were getting. That's the love that they received, you know, ever since they got there. She was welcomed with open arms where I was born at. You know what I mean? And still to this day, everybody loves her. You know what I mean? She's still walking around, going to the supermarket, man, and, you know, still very powerful, a powerful woman. And every day she tells me this one thing, and it'll stick by me for the rest of my life. And, you know, I will ask her, hey, how you doing? You know, I'll call her up, you know, Abuelita, how you doing? How's everything? You know, Tata is what I call her. I don't call her Abuelita, I call her Tata. And I'll be like, you know, oh, Gran. And I say, Gran, how you doing? How's everything? And it always resonates with me, because she always says this, and I'm gonna live by this forever. She always says, I'm doing better than yesterday, every day. You know, whoever asks her, she'll say it in Spanish too as well, mejor que ayer. So she's grateful to where, you know, to the point of where she became, you know what I mean, and what she's become in life. You know, she's a woman of God now, you know, and, you know, if I learned anything, she always taught me and my family members that family is the most important thing. When you got that, you know, that family around you, whether it be for the good or bad sometimes, regardless of what. When she's cooking for everybody. And when she was cleaning, or whether or she would even clean on the outside of the hallway, is because she always knew for a fact that she wanted everybody to be happy around her, right? So my grandmother used to go outside to the front of the building and play dominoes with all of her friends and stuff like that. May most of them rest in peace. They no longer here. She's still, one of the ones who's holding on strong, and I thank God for that. That He still, he's blessed me to be able to be, around my grandmother. He's blessed me to be able to still have my grandmother here, and I'm just super, super grateful for that woman right there. She used to sell bacalaitos. That's codfish. She would go outside and she would just like pretty much start up a cheese line that everybody was buying. That she had the hustler's mentality, right? You know what I mean? And she's one of the one who pretty much taught me. I used to always put money under my bed. Like whatever I was getting, I was just putting it under my bed. I remember, I'll never forget it. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was money, and I learned a lot from her. And she just always taught me, like, look, listen, when it comes down to it, make sure that the life that you live is the one that you always seen in a straight line. And I'm gonna get into that later on. You know what I mean? Just always make sure that you keep your head straight. And we all have our bumps in the roads, but I know for a fact that if she taught me anything, that's what she taught me. And she always taught me to be strong and give love, and you'll receive the same love back. And I had so many talks with this woman, and she's just like the best person to be around, the best person to have as a grandmother. I'm super grateful, and I thank God, the Lord up above up there. I thank you for bringing my grandmother, into my life, and me being able to, I'm privileged to be able to come from my mother, to be able to meet my grandmother, be able to meet the family that my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ chose for me, right? Is because these people right here are super, super awesome people. And I'm a little bit over 7 minutes right now talking about my grandmother, but there's so much more that I would love to get into about her. But I call her the Alpha because she's the alpha woman. You know what I mean? She I never met my grandfather, but one thing that my mom and my grandmother taught me is just like, you always got to be strong no matter what. Fight for what you believe in. And that's what she taught me. Regardless of what, you are going to be better than the past. You're going to be better than yesterday. So continue to move forward and look in that straight line. So happy Mother's Day to my grandmother. And now we move on to my hero, my mom, my love. My mom, my father wasn't too much, like my father was there, but he wasn't really there. My mother was the mother and the father. She spoke to me straight up about everything, being able to, innovate higher, go to college, do all the right things that you need to do in life, make yourself proud, not just me, make yourself proud. You and your brother, you guys stick together no matter what. And also something similar to my grandmother, fight for what you believe in, and when it came down to my mom, she mentored a lot of youth in the neighborhood. Like I said, I'm from the east side of Harlem. I come from Spanish Harlem, and she mentored so much kids. And I'm super, super grateful to be able to call a lot of those kids today my brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter, regardless of what, if they don't have the same bloodstream that I have so many brothers and sisters out there, just because a lot of people gravitated towards my mom, because she always sat groups and groups of kids down to be able to speak to them, to let them know what was right from wrong in the streets. Where do you want to go in life? Where do you see your vision in life? And when she worked at a non-for-profit organization called Harlem RBI, and Harlem RBI is funded. I believe, don't quote me, but it's funded by baseball organizations. And it pretty much puts kids out there to be able to go to college. Also, kids are out there in the summertime. They learn how to work. They pretty much are teaching other kids as they grow up in Harlem RBI how to be in the position that they're in. And my mom taught a lot of those kids and pretty much worked there. I think she worked there for like at least 11, 12 years, right? And so she was a big innovator. She was a big, I want to say she was one of the one of the queens of East Harlem, right? And I'm so lucky to have her as my mother is because I was the first one that got all this information that he had to give to all these people, growing up. She would just tell me straight up, look, listen, if you're gonna have a girlfriend, make sure you do right. At the end of the day, do right by her, do right by a woman, because at the end of the day, you come from a woman. But at the end, you have to make sure that you always talk your truth. I ain't always do that, right? I didn't always. Growing up from 14 or I want to say all the way to my mid 20s, I wasn't always the most honest person to these women that's out there. But my mom definitely taught me what was right from wrong and how to do right by a woman. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we come from a woman, so we have to be able to kind of sort of channel our inner selves and always being having that sensitive side. Especially when you meet whoever your queen is going to be, and especially when you meet whoever your wife is going to, especially when you meet your wife, right? So there's so much to get into about my mom. Like, she just pretty much taught me how to stay tough, how to regardless of what, stay 10 toes down and always fight for what you believe in. Always make sure that that whenever you're doing something, you do something 100% and you go hard, and she was one of the ones who stood by me when most people thought I wasn't gonna make it, and I'm super, super grateful for her. Is because, she held me and my brothers and my sister down, single parent, so for a woman to do those things and take care of 4 kids at the same time, and still going hard to this day, I commend her. She's, a beautiful person. We always have our back and forth as any other family does. Y'all know it, I know it, and it is what it is. But nonetheless, happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you from your oldest son. I'm gonna continue to make you proud. And I am the best father and the best husband that I am today because of you. So, love you very much, Ma. No emotions over here. There's no emotions on this channel right here. I keep it 100. Only smiles. But yeah. So, and last but not least, man, dun dun dun. My wife, right? The queen is what I call her. So I have the alpha, I have the hero, and I have my queen. It wasn't by mistake of me running into my queen, even though I thought it was, because they always say that the person that's right in front of you is probably the person that you don't see right away, right? So when I first met my wife, it didn't take long for me to make her my girlfriend, right? You know what I mean? I was always hesitating, insecure, about past relationships and stuff like that. But like, my wife was like right in front of my face, like literally dead smack right in front of my face. And I'm super, super grateful. This is the one right here who taught me everything. And, like, she taught me, so much more and how to be able to move forward in life. And I'm so passionate when I talk about this woman is because, I wrote this down yesterday and I feel like she taught me this, right? It says, do you believe that doing what is easy now will make life harder in the future? But if you do what is hard now, your life will be much easier in the future. I learned this from you, Tiffany Clark Vieira. I learned that from you. Doing what is hard now, moving forward. This woman right here is just like, I can speak about so much, so much passion, so much grit that she has. And she's taught me, how to be an innovator, how to learn how to become an entrepreneur, how to learn how to be, a successful man in my path and how I'm going forward. When I first met her, I didn't even know that she lived right upstairs from me, 18H. I live on 17H, and always quiet, always quiet woman. But nonetheless, when we started to talk, it's just like, look, listen, opposites attract. She was the quietest person. I was the comedian. I was always the person who was out there. And even to this day, whenever I'm too high, she'll bring me back down to here, and then it's 50-50 again. So whenever she, vice versa, whenever she gets too high, which that hardly happens. That right there hardly happens. She's usually right here with me, when it comes down to it. So, but she is the other side of my great mind. They always say that great minds think alike, and I know now, that my mind is becoming greater and greater, and I'm becoming that much more, how can I say it? I'm becoming that much more of a man as far as perfection goes on my craft due to her. You know what I mean? She's so much of a winner. Like, like if I can just show you, like all of the things that's in my room right now. We have like post-its all over the place over here. When it comes down to goals, when it comes down to, what are we gonna do for the week? Like writing things down and just like always just reminding me whenever I forget. You know what I mean? That right there is what I call a beautiful soulmate, a beautiful wife, a beautiful leader. She's even started up her own YouTube channel. And I know for a fact that you guys are gonna love it. And I'm gonna be interviewing her real soon on my own John Boogie's Wasted Talent channel over here. But we have our son, and like when I first got married, I was just like, we were both pregnant. That right there kind of speeded up the process, but I always knew that I wanted to marry this woman. This was the woman for me. It's just like she was like, the best person that a person could like sit right in front of and have a conversation. When I first met her, I was just like, damn, I can't even eat. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I can't even eat correctly. It's because like she's so freaking beautiful. I'm just like, wow. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. I can't even really look into the camera and say that. Is because, like when you know for a fact that when you first meet a person and they asked you out, because she asked me out, right? Okay, she did. She asked me out, and I had to make a decision for myself. She told me straight up, look, listen, I really like you. I think me and you need to be together. And I kind of sort of paused. We were both laying down. I kind of sort of paused, and it kind of sort of clicked to me when she said, or me and you can continue to just like mess around with each other, and you can talk to whoever you want to talk to. I'll talk to who I talk to. And I said to myself, hell no, you live right upstairs from me or whatever and stuff like that. You ain't gonna make me into a stalker. I ain't gonna be listening to the radiator trying to see who's coming. And I was just like, nah, I need to be with this person. This is the person who I need to be with right now. And there was just something that I saw in her that I knew for a fact that this is gonna be my wife. You know what I mean? Like when you get those butterflies in your stomach and you just know for a fact that this is the person who you're gonna build with. And we come from the bottom together, and we going to the top together. And what more and what better to ask for than a person who is on the same page with you? Like they always say a relationship is supposed to be 50-50, but a lot of times I see it, it's like 80-40, but honestly, it's always 50-50 between me and that woman that's sitting out there. And I respect her and I love her, dearly. She's given me the best gift ever, which is our beautiful son. And I just wanted to say to everybody out there, all the mothers, and coming from the outside looking in as a husband, right? You know what I mean? I look at these women and I just look at them and I just say, look, listen, these are precious gifts that's brought to us. We came from a woman. We have to be able to show them, like we appreciate them. They're so appreciated at the end of the day. You women are so loved no matter what. Even if you have your ups and downs with with the man that you love, or if you feel like you need some advice, there's always that person, father, brother, cousin, that you can go to to be able to get a male's advice, vice versa. So I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all the women that's out there. Shout out to all the beautiful women. God bless you all, and have a blessed rest of your day. God bless to all the women. Happy Mother's Day. And this was a special John Boogie's Wasted Talent episode just for you guys. So comes from the heart. Much love. Peace. Subscribe. And we'll be getting back to regular daily lifestyle. But this right here was about you guys, the women, the moms in the life. Happy Mother's Day. Peace out.